Hi, I'm Lanny, and this is Preserving Today. Today I want to show you how I ferment green beans. There's a common preserve or pickle called dilly beans. You might have heard of it. And a lot of people make those using vinegar. But did you know it's super easy actually to ferment these dilly beans? Then you have all the great taste of pickled green beans, but you have the probiotics of the living food that is fermentation. So usually I make my dilly beans in the summertime when the green beans are growing, and I have a lot of them, and that's how I preserve my dilly beans for a year or more. You can watch my other video talking about how I preserve my fermented vegetables for a year or more here. Now I'm going to show you how quick these green beans are and how easy it is to make a fermented vegetable in your own kitchen. And for this recipe, you just need some garlic, salt, water, green beans, pickling spice, and fresh dill if you have it. If you don't have fresh dill, you can definitely use dry dill, or just dill seed in the pickling spice would work too. And you can make this in any size batch. Today I'm only doing a quart because I'm doing this as a demonstration, but if I had a huge 5-gallon barrel, I could do that as well. I'm adding 2 cloves of garlic to the bottom of my jar, and I'm gonna add, probably 2 teaspoons to pickling spice. Maybe 3. It's up to you. Now to get my green beans ready, and I bought store-bought green beans just to show you that you can use the produce from the store. They're not special, they're not even organic, they're just what they had at the store. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull off each end, and I'm gonna take one and snap it. What I wanna make sure is that this is not a fibrous green bean, that the beans inside aren't gigantic, that there's not a huge string. If there's a big string, you're gonna want to string the green beans. Also sometimes called string bean, where you kind of pull this string off of them kind of like a little zipper. This will just prevent them from being really fibrous when they're in there as pickles. But since these are nice and young green beans, I don't have to do that. So all I'm gonna do is just take off each of the ends and make a little pile here. And this will just make it so there's no fibrous weird pieces in any of the bites of pickles that you get. You can do this by snapping them or cutting them. You can leave these green beans whole or cut them into smaller sizes. I think they look pretty in the jar when they're whole. So I just take a fistful and I'm going to line them all up. And I'm going to put some in the jar so they're standing up. And I do have some fresh dill that I bought at the store. This is baby dill. You can use the whole thing. It's not for eating, it's just for flavoring the pickles. So I'm just gonna shove a big chunk of it in like that. I feel like you can't really overdo it on the dill. They are called dilly beans after all. Okay, after the ends are off of all the beans, you can put the rest in there. Don't be afraid to really pack the jar tight. It's actually gonna help everything stay under the brine better. Just make sure that none of the beans come up too high. You wanna leave space here for the weight to go in to hold these beans under the brine. Okay, now I'm gonna make my brine. 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of salt to every cup of water. So here I'm doing 2 teaspoons plus a little more for this 2-cup pint jar. And I'm gonna fill this with water. Use room temperature water if you can, but never hot water. This is an easy way to do it if you've got a nice sealing lid to just shake, shake, shake to get your brine all mixed up. Some people boil their water first and then let it cool, and that all sounds like too much work to me. So this is how I do it. Everything's under the brine. Now I like to use these ball fermentation lid and spring sets. I think they're super handy and easy. The lids have a vent. If you can't find this, find something that's going to hold your vegetables under the brine and a lid that will vent. Even like a towel with a rubber band or coffee filter with a rubber band works great. So you put the spring in and you let that tension from the lid seal everything underneath. And I just check again to make sure everything looks like it's under the brine. And it is, and I'm done for today. I'm gonna label my jar and leave this on the counter room temperature to ferment for 3 to 7 days. So I'm gonna check back with you each day to show you the transformation of these dilly beans so you know what to expect when you're fermenting yours. Set them out of direct sunlight in a place in your house that is a moderate temperature, because if it's too cold in your house, it'll take a long time to ferment, and if it's too warm, it will go really quickly. So just keep that in mind. The amount of time this takes to ferment will vary based on your environment and the ingredients you used. We'll check back tomorrow and see the transformation. Okay, we're calling it day 2. This is about 24 hours after I started these dilly beans. And the first thing I noticed is that the water in the jar is starting to take on some of the green color from the beans. But it's still quite clear. I'm not seeing any bubbles yet, just maybe 1 or 2. And everything's tucked nicely under the brine. So this is going well. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to open this. Just gonna come back the next day on day 3 after about 48 hours and take a look at it with you again. Day 3, I'm noticing not only is the brine darker, but it's also becoming a slightly cloudy. And I can see some of the seed spices are kind of moving around in the jar. And when I take this spring out, there are quite a bit of tiny little bubbles that float to the surface along with some of the spices. Day 4, we're back and the brine is even darker and more cloudy. The seed spices are doing this lava lamp thing where they really slowly float to the surface and then back down. That's a great sign of fermentation taking place because CO2 is being created and making these beautiful bubbles. You'll also notice the green beans are getting quite a bit darker, where they were like a bright, vibrant green when we first started, when they were raw, and now they're darkening just like they would when you were cooking them. Day 5, the biggest thing I noticed is not only the cute little bubbles on top and the seed spices moving around, but how these green beans are squished down. That's because they're softening, and the weight of this spring is actually pushing them down further than before. So it kind of seems like your vegetables are shrinking and your brine is growing, and that's exactly what's happening. The water inside the beans is moving out into the brine, and the salty brine water is moving into the pickles, and that's what's going to make them taste salty and flavorful and delicious. I'm going to give it a taste. And it's still crunchy and starting to taste like pickles. I can let it go one more day from here and I'm gonna call it good. On day 6, I checked on these green beans again and they were great and they're done. So now all I do is remove the lid in spring and replace it with a tighter fitting lid that I label. And then I move these dilly beans to the refrigerator where they'll stay fresh for a year or more. I like serving these alongside food when I don't really have a vegetable prepared. Something green on the plate. I also like to serve them when I need something salty, and any kind of charcuterie platter, appetizer platter, antipasto platter, all your fermented veggies go great in small amounts on those platters as well. That's it. That's how I enjoy my green beans as pickles, by fermenting them, including great, healthy, probiotic bacteria that's good for your gut health, and enhancing the flavor, all while preserving these green beans for years to come. Thanks for watching. I'm Lanny, and this was Preserving Today.